You want boil it if it's hot enough for you. Just turn the TV down a little bit because I'm about to do this real quick. I'm not gonna be too long. Okay, how's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? Um, I wanted to do a quick update on the wine, okay, on the homemade wine, baby, okay? But um, I've been woke maybe about a couple of hours, decided to come downstairs. The food was done. I think the red beans. Let me see if I can open that real quick. This is the crock pot. Beans looking good. Probably put the meat in them, so I'm not sure what to put in it. But let me grab this real quick. See that creamy. Everybody done ate a couple of times except for me. Lick just got his food because he just woke up. Isn't that something? You want your beans in. Where we from, our beans are creamy, baby. They're creamy and they go on top of rice. And that's why you gotta have the right type of beans. Look like he put bacon inside of them, so that's okay. I had some turkey necks. And then, of course, there's the rice. Look like it's been warming up. It stays on warm. So let me close this. But anyway, let's get to the wine, baby. The wine. Because if you made your wine and followed my instructions, then it may have looked, you probably was concerned, right? You may have been concerned. Now I'm going to put this up a little. Let me see if I can. Hey, babe, this part, if I want this part to go up, wait a minute. Wait, I think I got it. No, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing.
What part?
This part right here, this neck part. Is it this?
Yeah.
Oh, right here. Okay. You don't want that to go up like that. Okay. Thanks, babe. Okay, sorry about that, y'all. Sorry about that. Okay, check it out. This is the wine, okay? Y'all saw me make it. Y'all saw everything I did. I'm going to kind of aim it up a little bit to the cap. The cap is on. I just burped it. All I had to do was turn it. I heard some air escape. But at this stage, you don't really want to take the cap off. And you don't really even have to burp. You just don't want to make sure this thing don't explode. That's why it was important about having this cap on loose. You wanted what was going on in it. You know, you didn't want this to explode. And I think I had an update. Somebody hit me up and they was like, hey, it kind of went up. You know what I mean? It went up on them. And so I know I was very clear. I was very clear, right? I spent time on the importance of this cap being really loose. Okay, now I'm gonna say this: don't give up on it. Don't give up on it. But I know I was very clear on how important it was for this to be on. You could have just set it on, but you didn't want to do that because it could have fell off. I told you to just lightly turn it, lightly, just so where it jiggles, and you know what I mean, but it won't come off just simply. And I was very clear on that because you got to understand what's going on in this bottle, right? What's going on, the fermentation, right? The fermentation, what it does, it ends up with like gases, and it needs to release. And if it don't release, it will release, and it will release in the way you don't want it to release, which is by exploding. Bam, pow. Okay. Is it my phone? Y'all can hear me through my phone, right? I think it was my iPad where y'all couldn't hear me. Okay, cool. So I am using my phone. Okay, cool. Anyway, so this is the juice that I decided to go with. I went with white grape. And I did a family size, which is why, you know, when we was doing the calculations of how much yeast to put in. Now, I'm going to show y'all this up close. If y'all might have to go to the first video and you will see all the actions, because I think I did like another update like after the fact, and I was showing y'all the action, but the action has settled down. We're in week 2. Okay, we're about to enter week 3. I thought we was farther in than that, but Let me show you what you should see either at this point or sometime soon. You see how the calmness at the top? Everything is calm as hell. Y'all see that? It's calm. It's calm. And if you see some, you might still see some bubble action. And if you do, that's okay, right? But it shouldn't be as like it was in the beginning. Okay? There's no action. And not only that, if you look at the very bottom, there's a layer down here. Okay, just notice I'm not shaking this bottle. Please don't shake that bottle, baby. This sediment down here is the yeast that died. And why did the yeast die? Because of the alcohol content. My yeast have died because the alcohol, it couldn't survive the alcohol content. Okay, so it falls to the bottom when it's done doing its work, and boom, and it sits there. That's how I know this has the alcohol content that's higher than my yeast can handle. I think somebody had wine yeast, the alcohol yeast. Yours might be still bubbling, and the reason yours still bubbling because your yeast is meant to handle certain alcohol content. Okay, for those of us who use the yeast that I recommended for this beginner project, your yeast may be dead by now. But if it's not, remember, that's the bad thing about using the yeast that I suggested, is that it's volatile. In other words, what that means is not guaranteed to do anything. It's not guaranteed to survive an alcohol content of 12 or more. But it may, right? It may be able to survive that higher alcohol content. So they don't guarantee any percentage, right? So that's why when you buy wine or beer yeast and things like that, it'll tell you what it will guarantee. And even then, it may even go higher, but it shouldn't go lower than what they kind of guarantee, right? So, but when we use the yeast that I had y'all use, let me see, I showed y'all just regular bread yeast, then it's going to die. Now, I still see a little action, a little tiny little action. That's okay. We just in week 2, and I told you we're going 4 weeks. We're going 4 weeks. We're week 2. We're going into week 3 now. Okay? Now, let me tell you what I noticed. Like, so when I saw everything kind of do its thing, it was cloudy. This was very cloudy. And you probably was thinking, damn, this don't look right. You know? I still see some bubbling action. Let me see if I can show y'all. It's slight bubbling. So my yeast is still, you see over there? It looked like over there. Let me see. Let me see if I could get it closest in. Oh. Hey, Lena. Let me see. I'm trying to. Let me see if I can focus it a little better. Where's the camera? Okay, the camera's at this side. Okay, yeah. Okay. Y'all see, it's like, let me see. See the little bubbles right there at the edge? Tiny little bubbles. Tiny little bubbles. See them? So the yeast is still active. And so it's still, there's some yeast still in there that's still surviving. It's small little action. Y'all see the little bubbles? Let me see where they are. See them? Watch, you're going to see it. You see it? They popping up like. Y'all see them? Small little bubbles. So it looks like it's still active, which is good. It's slowly active, which is good. Everything is doing well. But what you're gonna see, it looked at real cloudy like earlier in the week. What's gonna happen, y'all? The sediment. See how it's clouding, but look at the top. It's getting clear. Your wine will get very clear. So depends on what color you have. Even if it's grape, it will get clear. And this cloudiness color, it will eventually get as clear as it is getting at the top. And it's going to be a clear. See down here, it's not as clear yet. Okay, but don't worry. Let the process do its thing. And sit that. I had mine sitting on the floor, on side of my fridge. Um, and what I'm saying is that if you do not shake it up, if you've already shaken it up, because I thought I was clear about, hey, don't shake it up. Like when we shook it up, that should have been it. Shouldn't be no more shaking. But if you shook it up, if you shook it up, now you might have to go a little longer. I'm not sure, because I'm not sure like what exactly you're using, but don't give up on it. And do not shake it up at this point though. Like when you see the yeast not doing much, do not shake that up. You know, just because you see things at the bottom down here doesn't mean that needs to be anywhere. That's where it's supposed to go. What's at the bottom is supposed to be at the bottom. It settles, and this thing is gonna clear up real pretty, and everything that kills off that shouldn't be within the wine will settle to the bottom. And that is why there's some items that you purchase in order to get the wine out, the clear wine out of the bottle, because there will be some things at the bottom that shouldn't be in your wine. Okay? Now, so at this point, what I would say, I have decided, now if you want to smell it and things like that, you can open it up. You use it lightly. I can smell the alcohol in that, y'all. Smells like some wines that smells like I can smell alcohol. I'm not sure if other people can. I can even taste it. It has a distinct taste to me. That's why I don't really like alcohol. I can taste even the slightest little bit, and I smell that. Okay. This is at this point I can smell it. It smells even stronger than a daiquiri. Is nowhere near like a daiquiri. It's light. This is stronger than that. I just have a nose for certain things, maybe because I cook and I pay attention. But this smells fermented like beer. The only way we're gonna know what the alcohol content is if we had taken a measurement in the beginning. We take a measurement at the end, which we did not do, which is okay. You will be able to tell them when you taste it, if you find it to be strong or not strong or too strong. You know what I mean? That's just the beginning of what we're doing for those who may want to do wine making. So at this point, and remember, this is the beginning, so you can find out if this is a hobby or something you might want to partake in without buying things beforehand. Okay. This is like my first time doing it like this, but this is how my dad used to make wine, right? This is how my dad used to make wine. But he used to use a mason, like a big jug, like a big jar kind of thing. And he didn't have a top to put on. He used to use cheesecloth or a t-shirt. Like he would rip a piece of t-shirt. He would put it on the top. I don't think y'all can see what I'm. Let's see. I don't know. Oh, maybe because I'm not farther back. What happened? I don't know why you can't. What's going on? Why we can't see the top anymore? I don't want my camera to fall off. Okay, so my dad used to put a piece of fabric at the top and then put a rubber band, and that would allow the air to escape and no bugs to go in. And that's why you have the top in, because you don't want no ants and no gnats or whatever that could end up smelling the sweetness to go in there. So that's the reason for the top, was for that. Okay, and remember, you didn't want too much head space up here, because if you get too much oxygen in there, it can turn it to vinegar. Now, like I said, what the difference between cooking wine is vinegar, y'all. Okay, cooking wine is vinegar. So what I'm saying, that even if you made some boo-boo and when you taste it you realize it's a little too tart, that's okay. You can cook with it. Cook it. That's the difference between cooking wine and wine is that cooking wine is the vinegar. It's a vinaigrette, a vinegar. It means it kind of didn't stay sweet, and I'm not sure exactly because I like when I never tasted the cooking wine. I have some though. Let me show y'all. I think y'all saw me cook with it before. I have this one, and let me see. I have another one. I think I may have used it all. Let me see. Um, uh, mm, I may have used it all. So I usually when I buy cooking wines, let me see. See, that's a sherry, a cooking wine. I only have a little bit left. Okay, I bought this a while back, y'all. I usually, I don't cook with it all the time. It depends on what I'm making. I will use it. Let me taste this. Yeah, so that's what is lacking, right? I could taste the alcohol, but cooking wine, the alcohol cooks off when you cook with anything with alcohol. That's why you can cook with the real wine. So even if you're not a wine drinker, you could cook with your wine that you're making. Okay, this is a sherry, which I think a sherry is made of a certain type of grapes. There's it's a particular type of grape that makes different types of wines. But let me be clear, wines are made from grape. Okay, that's what wine actually means. But people are making wine from anything now, and they're calling it wine, and it's made from anything. So I guess, when people think of wine today, they think of a drink that that has alcohol in it. They call it wine. That whiskeys are usually more smooth, and it's made differently than this. But in the beginning, people was making wines from grape. Okay, you can make, and so that's basically what it means. But you can make it from anything. You could try when try wine making with anything, even with meat. Okay. Now, so we're just doing a basic update so y'all can see. Some of y'all may be farther along than I am. I don't know. If you are, you seen it, it gonna clear out. Okay. So I just wanted y'all to just do a quick update. I'm gonna do hubby feet, and then when I come back, when I come back, I'm gonna be sewing. Okay, I need to get them bags done. But like a week ago, I wasn't able to kind of see through that. It was like real foggy. And I could still see that it's foggy further down. You can see like at the top up here is clearing. See, it's clearer here than it is down here. Y'all notice that? You can see the clearing here, and it's darker here. And as you go down, it's even darker. Okay? Now, for those who know for sure that this is a hobby you might want to partake in, there's some things you might want to buy. Like hubby bought me this big one. I wouldn't have done this big one, right? If for a test, I would have got a regular. This is 96 fluid ounce. I think the one under this is half of that, which probably is. What's half of this, babe? What's the small juice would have been like 30 something ounce, 36 or something like that. 48. Okay. Hubby said if the smaller one probably about 48. I don't know. Okay, but if y'all did the 48 one. Yeah, try a smaller one. Don't get this big one. But listen, if you do what I say, it's guaranteed to work. Try you a small one. You could get white grape. You could get any type of grape that you want. Don't do sodas yet. But you may end up liking sodas and things. You will be able to do that. But don't start with that. Start with something that you know you will drink if you didn't turn it into wine. So you'll be okay with tasting it once it turns into wine. Okay? So it should be clearing out. the next time I do an update, I'm gonna do an update next week. I think we're going into the third week. Okay, so we're going into the third week. So this week gonna be the third week, and then we're gonna be going into the fourth week. So next week I will do another update, and we'll see. Okay, from there. For those who might want to begin tomorrow, today, whatever. If you have some apple juice or anything, you could do apple juice, any of those juices, right? Grape juice. I don't even know the different type of juices, y'all. Don't do Hawaiian punch or anything like that yet. If y'all want to do a Hawaiian punch next, I'll look to see, because I got to look. There's some things that will kill off the activity of the yeast. You know, it might be harder because they do things with these different things. That's why we did with 100%. Okay. Now, it didn't have to be 100% grape juice, but usually juices are 100%. That's what they claim. And if y'all want to do it from actual fruit, though, first I'm going to let you know, if you're going to do it from actual fruit, that's a different little process. We're not going to have no bottles. You're going to buy things. Whether you buy mason jars because you're going to really imagine this being real fruit with skins and maybe even seeds inside, right? You will have to draw the liquid off of those things. See, we're going to be able to, if you don't buy certain things, we still going to be able to take this bottle and we're going to slowly pour it. Or you could buy a siphon. You don't even have to buy a siphon. There's you get some tubing that we could put in, and you know, you suck on one end. I used to watch my dad siphon out all kinds of shit, y'all. I see my dad siphon out gas with his mouth. You know, he put a hose. He used to use like the hose from a water hose. Yeah, my dad would put this big green. He would cut out the water hose, put one end in something, you know, and which you want to drain, and put the other end, put it to his mouth, do a suction move, and then hurry up and do like that, and then it starts just draining. You don't have to buy anything for this, but what I will suggest though, if you're taking it seriously, you want to share it and bottle it up for long-term use. Then there's some other, you're going to buy some things that sterilize your equipment. Okay? There are going to be some things you're going to buy to sterilize. And is it costly? No, you could get a little kit. We'll talk about that later. You know, I put up some information and maybe some links to even some other people's stuff where you'll understand. This, what we are making, the reason we made it in this bottle is because this bottle is already sterile in the inside. So what we did, we added some things to it, you know, and this is really for not to be stored for a long time because we didn't sterilize. Like when I put the sugar in, I didn't sterilize the items in order to put the sugar in it. I didn't do that, right? Because I didn't want to make this complicated. I wanted you to be able to make some wine that you can enjoy for the next month, or it depends on how much you drink wine. It might last you a month, might last you, you know, a couple of weeks. It might only last you a day if you happen to be somebody I'm not going to name in our group, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to mention his name. He is from Philly, though. Or is he from D.C.? And he is a man who really is a boy. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say no names, though. But he is from Philly, and he is a boy. Okay? But anyway, if you hear him, then it might only last you a night. Okay? Anyway, so y'all got me? That's just a joke to you, Philly boy. That's a joke, not a joke. I guess it's both, right? It's like a double and nine, leave it alone. Anyway, so but I just wanted to do a quick update. Let's get closer to it. Let me take it off the tripod, y'all, and just show y'all that it should be clearing up. I when I look closer, I see some minimal activity. If you look right there, you can see, I can see the bubbles coming up. See them? So I still have some activity. That means the yeast is still surviving. The alcohol content. This going, yeah. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna follow this through, and I hope that y'all try it. You, it's a month. It's easy to put it to the side. You make sure no everybody in the family who might see it knows. You don't put it in the refrigerator because you stunt the you'll stop the processing. The yeast will be too cold to do anything. So that's why I kept it right on the floor. You could keep it in the back area, cover it up with something. You could put it in your cabinet, you know, and you could put it in a closet. Okay. You just want it out of the way where nobody who, like, you know, like one of my sons come down and think they could see some juice and think, oh, let me taste this. So I told everybody what it was. Hey, don't mess with it. And let it sit. Okay, you could put it, I've seen people have their wines stored in their, I guess it is a bathroom. Like I wouldn't, I wouldn't sit, me personally wouldn't put it in my bathroom, but they had it in their bathroom / laundry room, which I do have a bathroom that is also doubles as a laundry room, and they have shelving at the top, and I've seen people store their things up there. Now, don't do that shit, y'all. Don't do that shit. Okay, unless it's in cabinetry. Look, cause y'all know when you flush the toilet, listen, that's a whole thing going on in the bathroom, okay? That's all I'm gonna say about that. Don't do that. Don't do that. But I've seen somebody here on YouTube. I was looking at their video and I saw where they stored their wine, and it's stored in a bathroom / laundry room above, and it looks all neat and shit. If you didn't know it was a bathroom, you probably be thinking, oh, that's a good idea. Like when I first saw it, I was like, oh, that's a good idea. And then because I thought it was just a laundry room. If it's just a laundry room, okay, that's a good idea. But if it's a bathroom / laundry room, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay. Anyway, but you could put it anywhere. You could put it in your closet. You got a room, a corner. Like I said, anywhere where there's nobody moving it, shaking it around. And if you don't want a lot of light to it, that's why you're going to put it low and somewhere in the corner. Or if you need it to sit out, like you don't really have no special place, take something and cover it up. You know, take a towel, something big enough, and cover it up. And so the light and nobody mess with it. Okay? Let me see. Y'all got any questions? Look like, will grapefruit be okay? Yes. A grapefruit one would be good. If you like to, do you like to taste the grapefruit? Then try it. Grapefruit is kind of bitter to me, you know. But yeah, if that's something that you like, yes. Make it something that you like to drink. You know what I mean? Like I can imagine. Like I have tasted wine before. It always was like a grape wine or something like that. And the only reason I didn't, the only reason I didn't like it really is the alcohol. I don't like to taste the alcohol. But maybe I could change that, you know, every once in a while. But I do have one son who drinks wine. I don't know if my oldest son drinks wine or not, to be honest. But I know my youngest son, he drinks wine. But he also is finicky with anything homemade. They're going to regret that when they get older, man. Because I used to be just like that. You know, thinking that something bought, it equates more value. You know, I used to be like that. So I understand. I'm not giving up on him. I'm not giving up on him. But if we so let me tell you what we gonna end up doing with this, so you can know if you need to get a siphon or not, in another glass. So if you made this big thing like I did, honestly, because I didn't sterilize anything that I used, we can't store this for very long. Okay, what is very long? Well, I'm talking about, we don't want to do no years. You know, we don't want this wine to age like that. We don't want it to age like that. Mainly because the wine will age. But remember, I didn't sterilize anything. If I keep it in this bottle, I would have to Yes, we would have to drink this. Now, if I decide that I do want to keep this, like when I taste it, and I'm like, oh, I like this, and we want it to age, then that's what I'm gonna have to. There's gonna be some things I'm gonna have to buy. Another container to put it in, or bottles. I'm gonna have to buy some things to sterilize those bottles, and the things that I'm gonna use to transfer it from one bottle to the other, right? Which is just packets. It's like a cleaning thing. Or you don't have to buy anything to sterilize. You could boil it, right? You put some hot water in a pan, get it hot, and boil those items, and that will sterilize it. You don't have to worry about what I already done to this wine. Like, remember when I put the sugar in, I didn't stir, because I can teach you how to pasteurize this wine after it's done. You could pasteurize it, which means it makes it where you kill all microbes or whatever that could grow in it. You kill it off. And that's simply that's easy. You heat, you got to get the liquid to a certain boiling point, to a certain temperature. That will kill everything off. And then bam, that's it. That'll kill everything off. So that's easy. Okay? But if you're really going to keep your wine and you want to age some, like you want to just test it out, put some to the back and let it go a year, 6 months, a year, a couple of years, whatever, and you be like, this is my own homemade brew from like 5 years ago, you could do that. Okay? You could do that. Now, so what I'm thinking about doing is I am gonna look into see how much it costs me to get certain things, and I'm also looking to where because you might be able to buy used bottles. There's, you might be able to buy used bottles. You could use even things like mason jars and things like that, okay, with the lids, because that will keep as well. I don't know if you want to go get a mason jar and when you want to pour your wine out of a mason jar, but honestly, that's what they used to do. Okay, that's what they used to do. Now we got fancy, smashy wine bottles. If you're a wine drinker and you have some wine bottles that you already opening things, you could reuse those. Now, when it comes to the tops, you're gonna have to buy some tops, which are like stoppers that will fit right in the hole. Okay, so if you are a wine drinker, keep your wine bottles, because you're gonna be able to reuse it. And then you could buy, of course, bottles. If you're gonna be the person to give wines away as gifts to people, then what you would do is you're probably gonna buy those, right? Buy those. You could make your own label with a printer, put it on top, and be like, "This is my special wine." Anyway, that's a good idea for Christmas too, like, right? If you make this wine, if you're making it, the beginning wine, and you want to give some away for Christmas, especially if you made a big one, that'll be, I might end up, I'm gonna see how this work out. But I think I want to do winemaking. Isn't it weird? Because I don't even drink wine. Okay, so I'm gonna see how this work out, and then I'll make a decision. But I am going to end up getting the gauge so we can measure the alcohol. Because if y'all do it again, you might want to see how much alcohol is in it. And I am possibly going to get, I don't know if I'm going to get a siphon or just a tubing, but you might want to get the, you don't want to put your mouth on one end of the siphon, so you might want to get a siphon. It's not that much, and something to store it in. I'll talk about that another time. I may put it on a community wall, okay? But anyway, we're going to end this because I'm rambling. Y'all know I do that. So, and I hope everything is working out with your wine. If you shook it in the very beginning, don't worry about it. Just let it sit and it will settle. Okay? You might have to go a little longer, or you may not. Okay? But do not shake this. Okay? If you're at this point, do not shake this. Handle it with care. right? You don't want none of this at the bottom that has settled already. I'm not sure if y'all can see it. Let me see if I can get close. See it? You see the sediment down there? Yeah, y'all see that? That is the yeast. That's what that is. Look like something's on here. Yeah. So that's the, let me see. Y'all see it? It's like a little thin layer. That's the yeast. It shouldn't be the sugar. Remember, we shook that up. We shook that sugar up very well. So that is definitely the yeast that I put in there. Okay. And we're gonna end up taking this and pouring it out lightly into something else. Or you don't even have to do that. Like when you drink it, you pour it in your glass. Pour it in your glass lightly, because you do not want the bottom to end up in your wine or in your mouth, in your glass. Okay, so you could think about different ways how you would handle it yourself. And that's all I got to say about this. Anybody got any questions? I'm rambling. Yes, use you some grapefruit, Lena. Okay. So the good thing about this is, you see how we got one? This is our first one, right? Your first one. But if I did another one today, this one will be done in like 2 weeks, right? Week and a half, this one will be done. And if I'm a wine drinker, I just constantly, like every week, make one, and you'll always have wine. You know what I mean? This one will be done. You'll have one already in the back, working its magic. You bottle some. If you want to, you will always have wine, and you can absolutely start you a wine company. You know, you got to look into the laws in your state and things like that. But you know, because I can't tell y'all to do nothing criminal, and I would never do that. Your ass be sitting in jail talking about that goddamn bomb cherry. Okay, but you can also make cooking wines. Cooking wines you can sell. And what is a cooking wine? So we'll classify this as a cooking wine. It says that alcohol by volume is 17%. See that? Y'all see that? 17%. So, and if you label it a cooking wine, you can sell it. I'm not even joking, y'all. In the federal guidelines, if you label it a cooking wine, then now you in a different territory than alcohol. Okay? And that's how people getting away with like shipping it and things like that. Now, if they end up taking one of your bottles and you got like 23% alcohol in it, you know what I mean? Now you might be a little bit in trouble. I don't know. But yes. I hope y'all enjoyed this video, this knowledge, this information. Okay? I'm gonna do some I'm gonna go start doing some research, because I think I want to make some wine. I think I can, I'm going to show you how to make this into moonshine. But they call moon lighting, right? I may do this. I may do some of this and show y'all how to make this concentrate, baby. Oh, Jesus. Yeah. Now, it's going to be a little process that we're going to be doing, but it ain't going to be hard. It ain't going to be difficult. And, yeah. So get y'all wines started, because even if you don't drink wine, you might end up wanting to follow this process, a little learning process. Okay, we gonna have to learn some things. You never know, you might need it. You never know, this might be something you need in the future, or your children might need. If we end up in a war and everything get destroyed, I'm gonna show y'all how to make this. And I'm going to show y'all how to really turn this up a notch. I keep forgetting to grab my juice. I will next time I go and get groceries. I'm not really a drinker, but I decided I actually want to try. Yes, try it, Lena. No, Mel, try it, Mel. It's not, y'all saw what I use: juice, sugar, and a little yeast. And if you tell me you bought that big thing of yeast, then I'll make them breads. We'll use that yeast, okay? But if you ended up buying them little packets, which is like $1, something. I think I showed y'all the pricing. It's cheap as hell. You probably got sugar already. We didn't even use a lot of sugar. You could have used more sugar if you want. You can actually add the sugar later. Did y'all know it's called back? What is it called? Back flavoring or some shit like that, right? Where you get the alcohol the way you want it, and then you sweeten it. Back sweetening. That's what it's called. Back sweetening. Back sweetening or back flavoring, because you can. Let me tell you what else y'all could do if you want to. Okay, listen to what I'm about to say. You can start the alcohol without any flavor. Water. Just get water in a jug. But remember, the reason I had y'all, because we doing it in a sterile environment. That's why we didn't need those other things. That's why I had you get a jug, that's unopened. You see what I'm saying? But if you wanted to, and you already have yeast and sugar, because you do need some sugar, the yeast needs to feed on something. And that either got to be sugar or honey or something like that, right? You don't even need yeast. So check this out. You don't even need yeast. You could use bread. Bread will turn. And you don't even need that. If you had real fruit, the sugars from the fruit, and you let it get old, and then it starts fermentating all by itself. That's ways. This is the easiest way, the quickest way, right? There's many other ways though. You could use. My dad did not use sugar. I did see him use sugar sometimes. I do remember him using sugar. But he was using real fruit. You could use real fruit, but those processes take longer, because it takes longer for those like grapes or apples to break down. Can you imagine how long it takes, especially for an apple to break down, right? The apple breaks down, but then eventually it will start going bad, and then what happens, it starts fermentating, right? Because you'll have it in an environment where it fermentates, and then it will turn wine. But those processes are longer. I went with the quickest, and I went with something easy. Let me see what y'all saying real quick. So, okay, so if you have, I would say you could start your process now, but the problem is, let me tell you what you have to do. If you want to start it tonight, and you had a container already, just a container, I would suggest that you boil the items that you're going to use to make it. Put water in there and put your yeast in there. And do everything I said, boil the tops and things like that, because you need it to be a clean environment. Everything that going to come in contact with what you're making needs to be sterilized. And you can start the process with just water and your yeast. And if you got sugar, I'm not even joking. And then you come in after the fact, after the alcohol content and everything, after it turns into the alcohol, and then you could start back flavoring. That means you would then add your flavors, right? Like, let's say you got you some apple what they call concentrate. But don't do that. You can though. If y'all want to test out turning water into wine. I'm not joking. And then you go in and back flavor after the fact. You'll take whatever you want to add the flavors. After you get the alcohol content, you would then add it then. That's another way of doing it. Hey, Queen Sunkiss. I'm glad you went live to talk about this. I had to calm myself down. Some of these folks on this app be working my nerves. Well, girl, you know how it is, girl. I need to buy some yeast. I have everything else. Okay, well, the yeast is cheap. And y'all listen, y'all talking about you gotta go to the grocery store. You go to Amazon and order that little yeast, girl. They'll put that in your mailbox. Okay? And it's cheap too. Okay? You might have to pay shipping on it though. Look, Amazon, I don't know. I don't know if they have an option where they put it in your mailbox. Do they, babe?
What?
Do Amazon have it where they'll send things to your mailbox? They do, don't they?
Yeah, some things.
Oh, okay, yeah. So look, anyway, get y'all juice. Get y'all. Let's try to do it this way first. But if y'all, for those who just want to test some things that you don't know if it'll really work, get you some water. Okay. I don't know about that faucet water. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know nothing about that. Sometimes they will send it via post office. Yeah. Okay. You say I had the yeast in the cabinet and didn't even know it. Girl, look. You can make your own juice, yeah. You can make wine from your own juice. Juice your stuff. But remember what I said about when you're juicing, when you're making it from your own, you can either juice it or if you got the fruit. So if you got your own juice and you don't want to, oh Lord, okay. Because today we do juice. People do juice their fruit. But you wouldn't juice your fruit to make wine. Unless you wanted to. I guess it would be quicker if you did juice the fruit and then turn it into wine. But if you have fruit, you would just put it in and let it process. It's going to take longer than this process, but it doesn't take forever. You know what I mean? It doesn't take just as quick as it takes for apples to turn bad. That's how quick it is for it to break down. Right? Oh, and by the way, if you have some fruit that you bought, bananas or anything that you purchased, and they turning bad, do not throw it out. Turn it into wine, or if it's bananas, turn it into banana bread, which I was supposed to show y'all. Remember my refrigerator broke. I had put we had some bananas that turned black. I purposely, like when they didn't need them, I just let them sit there until they could turn black, and I was gonna make banana bread. But then I wanted to make a video about it, and I didn't do it. So I put the bananas in a baggie and put them in the freezer. But then our freezer broke. And so when I went to go pull it out, they just was really mushy. Actually, you do want it mushy, but I just said, okay, let me throw these away. I'll start over, okay? Oh, what's in the cast iron? Oh, that's cornbread. Hubby made some honey-coated cornbread. Okay. Yeah, hubby know how to cook too, y'all, okay? I'm gonna taste it though. One time he made this cornbread, it was so good. And y'all, it was in a box, but it wasn't a box, it was a bag or something. I was like, this cornbread, it was real soft, like more like cake, okay? And he based it with, now, people be asking what's the difference between cornbread and cake. Well, it's the crumble. You can see that looks like, you could tell that's kind of bready. And cake is spongy and light. Okay? And the reason that is because it's a corn. This do taste good. Sorry, I'm talking about my mouth full. But anyway, hubby made that. He made it perfectly. Y'all see the coated brownness? He probably don't even know how perfect he made it. Look, around the edge, it got a little golden. Sometimes I don't even do that. Because I ain't gonna lie, y'all. When I mix up my cornbread, and then I put that, I usually make cornbread in I have a pan that makes cornbread, like cupcakes. I put it in that, right? That's what I normally do. But the cast iron is what helps give it that golden right there on the edge like that. You can't leave, when you cook it with cast iron, you can't leave it in too long, because even after you take this out the oven, it's still cooking, right? Because the cast iron is still hot. So you got to be very careful when you're cooking with cast iron. But cast iron is perfect in on top of the stove, in the oven, on top of an actual flame, because that's how they were created. They was created for the military. They was making cast iron things for the military back in the day. Remember, and they used to eat outside. They used to cook outside over the open flame. And so that's what these are built for it to go over. You can go outside, have a fire, and you can cook right on top of that fire with these pans. Y'all better get y'all cast iron, okay? I'm telling y'all, we about to go, this country something about to happen in the next 6 months. 6 months to November, babe? 4 months? Y'all go get, let me tell you, I'm gonna make a list. I'm gonna tell y'all what y'all need to go get, okay? And I would recommend if you see some place with seeds, I don't care what kind of seed. I'm talking about seeds like for fruits, vegetables, any seed, get you some seeds. Go to the Dollar Tree and see what kind of seeds they have. This, because you never know where we're gonna be. And people always talk about making little packages and survival packages. And you know what they never talk about though? They never talk about packing no motherfucking seeds. They always talk about, make sure you got a knife, and make sure you got this, and make sure you got matches or a way to start fires, and make sure that, what you do need all that, but you need to get you some seeds too. They small, you can put them in, you get you some seeds, baby, because you're going to want to set up and you're going to want to eat, right? You may not even be able to get no animals, but you will be able to grow some shit in the goddamn ground, though. Okay, so we gonna change it up over here. I know. See, it's confusing. My channel confusing because I do too much, right? I'm over here cooking. I'm over here cleaning. I'm over here doing this with my grandson. I'm over here. And you don't know, my channel don't have any real point, I guess. I mean, it's all over the place. Yeah, and I'm okay with that. I don't give a shit, right? But what I'm saying, though, we gonna put a survival kit together. And y'all gonna go to the Dollar Tree and get y'all some seeds. But don't get no goddamn flowers. Nobody give a damn about no flowers. But let me tell you this. You could, if you see some little roses, and you can make wine out of those things too, okay? Look, if you see them little, what they call them little, they be in the weeds. We used to pick them up because I used to think they were cute. Like they yellow, but they always grew with a weed. And my dad used to say, oh, those are weeds. And I used to be like, that's like a pretty little flower. Dandelions, is that what it's called? Or something like that? Y'all, they make dandelion wine. Okay? If you see dandelions in your yard, and there's a lot of them, go out and pick them bitches, man. Make you some wine out of that. I heard that people making lavender wine. I guess these things have flavor. Or, I don't know if they have flavor. To me, I'm going to be honest, I think it's just a smell, and I think people like the smell of it. And so what they do is, I guess we do kind of eat with our nose and taste buds. I don't know. I need to taste me something that tastes like lavender and see if it really has a taste. Anybody ever drunk something that has lavender in it? I think, I don't know. So I can't speak on that. But what I'm going to do, y'all, I'm going to get out of here because I'm rambling about other shit. But if you remember, you want to handle your wine with care. Once you get it all settled, once you shake it and get that sugar all shook up in there. Remember, we didn't even shake the yeast. Remember, we shook it. Got all that sugar to dissolve. And then we added the yeast and laid it on top, and it did its own thing. Okay. Oh, you want a cast iron teapot? Oh, I never seen one of those. Girl, a cast iron pot used to be the teapot back in the day. They used to make tea in a pot, a pan. They used to boil the tea, seep the tea in something else after the fact. But I don't know if I've ever seen a cast iron teapot. You know, cast iron is heavy. So I can't imagine like this heavy ass teapot. Because even if it's small, it's still heavy. This thing is heavy. And this is my smallest one. No, this is not the smallest. Did I show y'all my smallest cast iron? Let me see if I can grab it right quick. Let me see if it's underneath here. Y'all got this small one. Hubby bought it. He be buying me things. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see if it's down here. It's so tiny that it might be hard to find. Hey, babe, you think it's underneath the stove or in the cabinet? What drawer? You mean the drawer at the bottom? Huh?
The one where the utensils
What, the utensils are? We talking about the cast iron, that smallest cast iron.
Yeah,
What you mean? In
it's
in what drawer?
the one where the big spoons and stuff, utensils.
Oh, really? It is that small. Okay, y'all. Let me see. I don't think I've ever seen it. I did see it though, Nicky. I don't see it in here, babe. But I did see it. I think I may have seen it in the drawer or somewhere. It's so small, y'all. Give me a second. I'll find it for y'all. Did you see where I put that hammer, babe? In case you need it. In one of I put it in one of these drawers, babe. It was at the top of it. I just put it to that. What you call it? Let me see if it's down. I'm thinking it's down here. Let me see. Boom, boom. Oh yeah, here it is. It is down there. Yeah. This is so crazy. I'm gonna put it in that drawer like you said though, cause it can't fit. Look at this, y'all. Let me bring you back over here, so we can do a comparison. Look at that little thing, y'all. This is my hand, and this is that cast iron. What this? Did this come with the cookie, baby? With the cookie mix? Y'all see it? Yeah, this. So this is so I can make cookies, y'all. It came with in a pack. Hubby bought me a set. Look, it got a little rust. I'm gonna clean that up. Like if you see this on your cast iron, do not throw your cast iron away. I'm gonna show y'all how I'm gonna fix that. I'm gonna fix that right now, real quick. First thing I'm gonna do is take. Okay, the first thing I'm gonna just take a rag, right? A rag, and I'm gonna wipe that away. Okay? Usually it's worse than you think it is. Usually it's oxidation or something, right? It may have been sitting in something that had a little water there. So you wipe that away, right? That's the first thing you do. And then you take you some used cooking oil. See, this is bacon grease, y'all, that we use. I cook with it and I clean with it. And dab some on. Okay? And then wipe that in. And look at that. Look at that. You can't even see where that was. Look at that. Okay? You could do it to the inside as well. You want to keep your cast. Oop, I put too much. That's okay. I'm gonna wipe it all in there, okay? It's like you polishing. So you polish iron. Okay? You polish silver. You do not wash it. You do not wash those things. You're not even supposed to put your silver in the dishwasher. And to be honest, you shouldn't even be putting it in water. Okay? You polish those things. But definitely cast iron should not go in water. I keep trying to say that, and I'm the one who always got to fix them once they get messed up, which I don't like doing all the time. And it messes up because the flavors that ends up seeping in here will make your meals better, but they keep getting washed up. Do not put them in the dishwasher. Now you see how that? Look at that, brand new. If you see cast iron at the Goodwill, buy it. Get a pan for like $1, $2, $3. Buy them. Okay. So that, and now it's ready to cook. You can straighten up the handle too. Now if you want to make this non-stick, you gotta add a little more oil, polish it up, but you want a layer of oil in it, right? And then you put it in the oven or over a flame, and you will create your non-stick surface. Now remember, with cast iron though, that's something, if you want it to be non-stick, that's something you do often if you use your pots often, if that makes sense, right? Hope that makes sense. Because eventually you'll cook off the non-stick. If you don't make your pots, if you don't season your cast iron, you will not like to cook with them. I had to learn the hard way, because I used to, my parents had cast iron. When I got married though, and I don't know if my dad gave me a cast iron or if hubby ended up bringing one here, or I'm not sure, right? How I ended up with my first ones. But I remember trying to cook with cast iron and everything stuck to it. And so I started hating to cook with cast iron. So if you had an experience like that, where you cooked with it before, but everything kept sticking, and then you was like, nah. Well, I had that experience, and I decided to ask my dad, like, hey, like, how is it that when I'm home and I cook with this, I think I was there making something, it wasn't sticking. He was like, and he said, well, do you season your pot? I was like, season my pot? He was like, yeah, you have to season them. And so that's what season them means. Season them means making them, you're putting a layer on there to where it won't stick. And, and it's easy. You just put some oil, like I said, old oil. You could use new oil if you want. I mean, I wouldn't do that. Like, that's a waste, right? Because all you need is the oil to seep in. You're going to bake it. It's going to create a layer that makes it non-stick. But if you don't do that, then it will stick. Food will stick. Okay? Anyway, y'all, I'm going. I've been on here longer than I was supposed to, and I'm about to do hubby feet. Did you ain't grab everything, did you? Did you grab everything? Or we just doing it upstairs? Okay. Okay, y'all gotta go. I gotta go do his feet. It's getting late. And I'll see you. I'll probably be on later tonight sewing, but I'm not. If I am on, it will be sewing though. And if y'all want to talk, y'all can come up. But I'll see y'all later, and y'all have a good. If you have any questions about the wine, my number is in the about. You can literally call me. Okay, if I don't answer, it's okay. Just leave a little message. I won't just call you back. I'll probably message you to see if you're available for me to call you back, so you don't have to worry about that. I do not take people numbers and things like that. In fact, I don't think I've ever called anybody unless, like, once we start talking, we become cool like that, and I might call them and check up on them, ask them how they doing with a situation that we may have talked about. But other than that, y'all, nobody's ever accused me, especially anybody who could prove that we talked on phones and stuff like that, ever accused me of doing anything with their number. Okay? It's always the people who I never even spoken to. They never called me, and I never had their goddamn number. It's always them, but it's never the people who I really have had. So y'all ain't got to worry about that. I promise you. But what I would say is make a Google number. It's free. And so if you don't trust, you can always delete Google numbers and get a new one right away. You can change Google numbers every day if you wanted to. So if you don't trust people, make your Google number, call with that, and we go like that. Okay? That's if you have any questions about anything you see that I've done and you would like to get more information. Okay? I'm here for y'all, and I'll see y'all later. Good. Bye-bye.